What's up everyone? John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo here. It's been about 4 months for a review of the Moto X 2014 hit. Mark had the privilege of doing the full review on it, and I never got a chance to share my thoughts, so I figured 4 months later, and I've been using this guy quite a bit, let me give you my thoughts and opinions on it. So first, a disclaimer, I almost exclusively use the wood-backed Verizon version, whereas Mark tested the leather-backed AT&T model. The wood one, as you can see, looks pretty much as it did on day one when it was brand new. The leather one though, looked like it was 4 years old, like a week after we used it. It did not age well. So most of what was talked about in the review is still pretty accurate. If you haven't seen it though, click down right here and go ahead and watch that, or hit the link down below to go watch the video, and then come back to this one. I'll wait for you, I'm not going anywhere. So the original Moto X was one of our favorite phones of 2013. In fact, in an informal study at the end of 2013, about 80% of the folks in the office picked the OG Moto X as their favorite phone of the year. It was customizable, affordable, it was really slick, it was running stock Android, and for most part, the 2014 update is a worthy successor to that mantle, aside from no longer being built in the US. The new 5.2-inch 1080p screen looked good, but it's hardly a class leader. In fact, when I held it up against other flagships, those that even aren't QHD before you yell at me, this falls definitely towards the bottom. Whites have kind of a slight hue to them, and the colors just generally seem softer. In all fairness though, I look at different screens every single day. This was the only one that I saw for a year or 2 years. I probably wouldn't have noticed that much. The moral being though, it's good, but it's far from great. Since our review, the Moto X got Android 5.0 Lollipop, which aside from bringing just a ton of new features, did wonders with the battery life that Mark had issues with. The 2300 mAh battery lasted me almost an extra 4 hours with the new OS. Getting through a day now is definitely a breeze, and I can almost go a full day and a half, whereas Mark could really just get through one work day. It's a giant improvement. Obviously, your battery life is going to vary depending on what your brightness is set at, how many emails you got coming down, how much web browsing you're doing, that kind of stuff. The 2.5 GHz Snapdragon 801 chip is still plenty fast. This thing absolutely screams. I had no slowdown issues, no lag, nothing. The phone breathes whether it was running KitKat or Lollipop. 2 gigs of RAM also is still plenty to make this thing just hum along with you're playing games, watching video, multitasking, whatever it might be. I still love the experience that Moto's putting out here. The formula is this. It's entirely stock Android with upgradable apps to enhance the experience, which means you get Android updates way quicker because the add-ons are just app-based. They can constantly be updated through the Play Store. The 2014 Moto X gets 4 front-facing sensors, making Moto display way more accurate to hand waves. Just doing this, which is a feature that I freaking love. Whether or not I just want to see if I have notifications, mute a phone call, it just works really well. I appreciate having those 4 sensors now. Mark liked the single front-facing speaker on the Moto X. I think it's okay, but it's not like the most awesome thing out there in terms of speakers. But in all fairness, I really only use it when I'm playing games, whether or not I'm watching a video, or just waiting to hear a ringtone come in. So it's certainly not a giant deal. So the camera on the original Moto X was definitely its Achilles heel. It's better this time around with a 12 megapixel sensor, but it's not as big an improvement as you might think. If you're taking pictures in an ideal setting with plenty of light outdoors, they're gonna look really nice. But drop the lighting even a little bit and start to look washed out, not as great as you'd expect. 4K video is a nice addition, but depending on what model you have, it's gonna be limited in storage, either 16, 32, or 64 gigs. So I hardly use the 4K video feature. The ring flash, I think, is one of the coolest looking things on it, and it's definitely neat, but it doesn't really do anything more than the standard LED flash, but it does look so pretty. I wish the bezels were a bit thinner. The dimple doesn't feel as good as the original, but the phone still feels and looks pretty good to me. I still generally really like this phone, and when I want to use an Android device, I almost always pick up the Moto X. It works well, it's small, it's a solid device, it's got good battery life, charges up nice and quick, and I know it's always gonna have the latest version of Android out there. So 4 months later, would I still get this phone if I was looking to sign a contract? Yes, absolutely I would. Customizable options, available on pretty much every carrier, latest Android updates. Not the best screen in the world, maybe not the best camera, but the phone experience is wonderful. Motorola did a really nice job augmenting what was already a really great Android experience. So if you want to pick up a phone that's going to last you for the next 18, 2 years, or a year, whatever your contract might be, I can still wholeheartedly recommend the Moto X. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked the Moto X, give the video a thumbs up. We always appreciate it. Until next time, I'm John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo. Talk to you guys next video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We love making tech videos here. If you like watching them as much as we love making them and just enjoy playing with the latest consumer electronics gear, check us out. Hit the big subscribe button. We got new videos coming out almost every single day. We also have a channel on Twitch where we play games, sometimes not so well, at twitch.tv/technobuffalo.